News Rants, a podcast about news stories that could get a bit ranty. All views expressed on News Rants are those of myself and any contributors. Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of News Rants, where I pick a news story and, well, I rant about it. Or I could rant about it. It does get a bit rambly. So, today it's going to be on the illegal immigrants crossing the English Channel in dinghies, which really annoys me, because this is something that the Border Farce seem to turn a blind eye to, whilst anyone who tries to enter the country legally has to jump through lots of red tape, which would be, in this case for me, that my spouse, who is an American national, and to be with me, it requires a visa, and I have to be earning over a certain amount of money, so just to say yes, I can support my spouse. So, you get all these illegal immigrants crossing the English Channel in these inflatable craft, landing on, well, the beaches of the south coast. Dungeness is one that comes to mind, and they get picked up by the Dover lifeboat and brought in, and, well, not a lot really gets done about it. They get put into a 5-star hotel, fed pizza, given a bit of money, and then a few days later, they just wander away. That's not exactly securing them or anything, is it? And that's Border Farce just not doing their job, really, which is to enforce the border of this country. So, why are these illegals being allowed in? That is the question. So, I do have some numbers. This is courtesy of Wikipedia. I will bring that up in front of me. It says, on Wikipedia, it uses the word refugees as well. I don't believe any of them are, because they all tend to be young men with iPhones and other things, and then just chuck their documents into the English Channel, never to be seen again, so we don't know who they are. So about 539 have been documented to try and reach Britain in small boats in 2018. However many were intercepted and returned to France. Now, I'll come to that in a wee while. And then 434 in October, November and December 2018. 100 in November 2018, 230 in December, according to Wikipedia. I'm not going to read too much on that. And 2019, which was the year I had dealings with Border Farce, I'm not going into that, 1,900 had made the crossing by the end of the year. From July to December 2019, an average of approximately 200 migrants made the crossing per month. And then April 2020, over 400. This was during COVID, by the way. And it just kept going up and up and up until it got to about 8,438. And now we're already on target to have exceeded that at present. So, it doesn't say anything about the 2021 crossings total. Actually, it does here. 23,000. It was right on the other side of the page. That's very annoying. And then a deadly incident occurred where a vessel capsized attempting to reach the UK. This is a very dangerous crossing. They should not be doing it anyway. But it's also illegal. And it's also the busiest shipping lane in the world, I believe. And at the moment, as it stands, 4,559 have tried to cross so far this year. It is not great. So, the cumulative numbers, 2018, 297. 2019, 1,823. 2020, 8,438. 2021, 28,431. And to date, for 2022, 4,559. They suggest that they're coming from Iran, but I highly doubt that. And it says the crossings are usually arranged by smugglers who charge between £3,000 and £6,000 for a crossing attempt in a small boat. And that these smugglers often use stolen boats for the crossings. So, that's just a bit shady and dark. So basically, they're entering the country illegally. which really annoys me. The Home Secretary at present, Priti Patel, has tried to come up with lots of ideas to stop this from happening. None have come to fruition. I'm not going through all of those ideas. But it does also include paying money to the French to try and stop them, and the French just don't seem to have stopped them, no matter how much money we're throwing at them. The French police have even just been filmed on beaches, just watching and letting these immigrants just get on with it, and just get out of France. Like, the French don't want them either. Well, which is no surprise. We don't want them because they're illegal immigrants. They're not refugees. If you want true refugees, the people of Ukraine are a pretty good example of that. Because that's women and children. These aren't women and children coming across in these boats. This is young men in their mid-20s with expensive iPhones, expensive clothing, expensive trains, that kind of thing. And, and they're being put up in a 5-star hotel, fed pizza, and given a bit of money, and then they just wander into the nearest town. And then you've got the ones that aren't intercepted by Border Farce, as I'm going to call them, because they are actually pretty useless. The ones that just land on, say, Dungeness Beach, that's a good example, and then just disappear, never to be seen, never to be traced. And who knows what kind of people these are? And who knows where they are? Nobody. It's just horrific that we have a border where there's probably just a big sign in the middle of the English Channel that says, "Welcome to the United Kingdom, illegal immigrants. You will be welcome here. We'll put you up in a 5-star hotel." So a lot of these hotels in the south of England have no rooms because they're full of these illegal immigrants, which us, the taxpayer, are paying for. And I don't really want to pay my taxes to house illegal immigrants when I'm trying to jump through lots of red tape and hoops to try and get my spouse back into this country legally and above board. That's one of the things that really angers me about this, that I'm having to do all of the things that I've got to do to prove to immigrations and visas that I'm able to support my spouse, which means I've got to work 6 days a week. That's so I'm earning enough per year to say to them, yes, I can support my spouse. Then spouse has to pay for the visa and then other fees on top of that, including the cost of a flight back. Which is probably going to work out more than what these illegals are paying the people smugglers to get across the English Channel. The thing is, when Border Farce and the RNLI actually pick these illegals up, they don't turn around and send them back to France. No, they bring them here and then just stick them in hotels. I mean, it's just like we're saying to the illegal immigrants, come here, we'll give you a roof over your head and some food and some money. All at the taxpayer's expense, and that's really why I'm angry about it and why I rant about it. So, my message to the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, is this. Pull your finger out, get Border Farce into gear, get them doing what they are paid to do, which is enforce the border, and get these illegal immigrants removed from the country. Every single one of them, because they have no right to be here. Unlike the Ukrainians, which will come here and then will go back to Ukraine when the fighting's over. These illegal immigrants are just going to come here and they're never going to leave, no matter how hard you try and deport them, because they'll always get some lawyer in at the last minute who, pulls them off the flight. You can see how angry I am at this particular topic. I just don't know. The situation is just farcical and, I don't know. We've got a Home Secretary who comes up with loads of ideas, but they never get any further than just words. We've got a Border Farce that doesn't seem to do its job. We've got a lifeboat organisation that has a lifeboat in Dover, which rescues these illegal immigrants from, when I say rescues, I don't think they're in any distress at all. Just, safety at life at sea regulations and things like that, which are a bit of a problem. So they basically bring them back to port like Dover or somewhere, and effectively the Border Farce still don't do anything, and they still end up in bloody hotels getting fed pizza and given money and then just allowed to walk out as they see fit. You know. So anyone who wants to come here legally has to go through lots of red tape if they want to come and live here permanently. But these illegal immigrants can stay here permanently just by crossing in a dinghy. No logic in that, is there? None at all. So that is the news rants on the illegal migrants. They're not immigrants, they're not refugees, they're just migrants, economic migrants that want to come to the UK for a better life. I don't like the idea that they're coming in illegally. If they want to come to this country, they should do it the way the rest of us do, which is apply for the appropriate visas and then come to the UK. That's how you do it. If they want to claim asylum here, then that is fine. But they're never going to have their applications accepted because they're not coming anywhere and they've already been in a safe country, which is France. France is not a war zone. Last I checked. Right, now time to calm down a bit because this one is really ranty. So, yeah, you can tell I really do not like the situation with the illegal immigrants that land on the south coast of England after leaving the north coast of France. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, before they used the dinghies, they all tried to come through the Channel Tunnel by hiding in vehicles, either hiding in the trains themselves or in people's cars or trucks, which is why trucks now have tamper-proof seals on them, to make sure that they can't get into those. You know. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I'm sure that the powers that be will finally get this little issue with the illegals sorted. So, there's news rants number 4, which is the illegal migrants crossing the channel in inflatable dinghies. Obviously something that really annoys me, as you can tell. Anyway, so I'm Paul, and you have been listening to News Rants episode 4. Hope that wasn't too ranty for you. It probably was. But so, anyway, on to more serious business. You can follow the podcast on Twitter. The handle is NewsRant2022. You can see I've been giving Extinction Rebellion a hard time. And the rest of them. And you can also watch the podcast in Vision on YouTube, if you're not already doing that. Or you can, in fact, also listen on just audio on wherever it is you get your podcast from, whether that be Apple, Spotify, or Google. We're still working on Google. That's at the time of recording this. That's saying it's not available, but it should be soon, all being well. So I'm working on getting that working. It's just taking a bit of time. So, thank you for listening to or watching another News Rants. And I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time.